Title: Clash in the Clouds, a Neo-Trojan epic, shadows over Neo-Troy. The sky above Neo-Troy flickered with a kaleidoscope of neon colors, reflections from the megacity's vast array of solar panels that skimmed the clouds like a sea of mirrors. The city itself was a marvel of modern architecture and technology, built on massive platforms floating above the Aegean Sea, anchored by colossal structures that descended to the ocean floor. Yet for all its advancement, an air of tension clung to the city's gleaming facade as tightly as the smog that sometimes touched the lower tiers. Inside the tallest spire, Paris observed the horizon from his panoramic office. The technocrat's face, sharp and calculating, bore the cunning of a man used to getting his way. Gold and slate styled the room, tech aesthetics blending with luxuries worthy of a king's chamber. Paris held the control over the Helios Core, the AI at the heart of a global energy revolution. With it, Neo-Troy could sustain itself indefinitely, a beacon of power and ingenuity shining against the world's corporations. But for Achaea Corp, it was a theft they couldn't ignore. "There's unrest in the city," said a soft voice, breaking Paris reverie. Helen, whose beauty was fabled even amidst modern augmentations, stood by the door. Despite the tension outside, her features bore a serene confidence. "They fear as they should," Paris replied, his voice smooth but fraught with the weight of leadership. "Agamemnon will not stop until he frees the Helios Core from my grasp." Helen walked to the window, her augmented eyes enhancing the vibrant skyline. "And Hector? He believes in defense. I trust him to keep the city safe." Paris turned back to the digital map of the Achaean fleet approaching, but underestimating Agamemnon would be a grave mistake. Across the cybersphere, the digital gods' remnants of old-world AI whispered mingling legend with the binaries of modern myths. Unseen yet felt, their presence tingled in the data streams and traffic pulses, a reminder of humanity's intertwined fate with digital evolution. Chapter 2: The Siege Begins. The Achaean fleet, led by the imposing Agamemnon, sliced through the azure waters towards Neo-Troy. Their ships, armored leviathans humming with power, were followed by swarms of drones scouting ahead like a dark cloud against the sunlit waves. Agamemnon stood at the bridge, surveying the horizon with cold, calculating eyes, his demeanor that of a wolf who had finally cornered its prey. Beside him, his brother Menelaus seethed with barely contained rage. "He steals what is ours and defiles my honor. Neo-Troy will burn, and Paris with it." Agamemnon nodded, not with sympathy, but with shared conviction. And for all his defenses, he forgets our might is unmatched. Achilles alone could topple Troy. Achilles, standing apart from the command, regarded the skyline impassively. A genetically enhanced warrior, his presence on the field was worth entire armies. Yet the glint in his eyes betrayed his disinterest in mere revenge or orders from a CEO with delusions of grandeur. Nearby, Patroclus, Achilles' closest companion, leaned against the railing, eyes scanning the horizon. "I thought we were mercenaries, not executioners." Achilles allowed himself a wry smile. "So we are, Patroclus, but every chance to outdo our own legend is worth considering, if only for the sport of it." Patroclus chuckled, a sound bafflingly warm against the grim backdrop. Even legends need restraint. The fleet bristled with weapons and energy, a devastating display of corporate might. Yet the true battle was not only of flesh and steel, but within the microcosms of circuits where the digital gods thrummed. The story of this war, and perhaps its outcome, had already begun to etch itself into the ether. Chapter 3: Hector's Stand. Hector observed the enemy fleet from his command post at the edge of Neo-Troy. Despite the threat, he stood tall, embodying the role of a noble protector. His armor, laced with tech enhancements, still retained the classical elegance of old and homage to the heroism he sought to uphold. "Sir, they've deployed their drones," a young officer informed him, augmented lenses clicking quietly as they updated in real time. "Activate countermeasures," Hector replied calmly. "Well, hold them at bay as long as needed." The air crackled with energy as Neo-Troy's defenses awoke. Hidden beneath the shimmering fade were networks of weaponry and shield systems, artificial intelligence collaborating to create a formidable barrier. For Hector, this was not just a battle of honor, but one of survival and ideals. Where Paris saw power, he saw responsibility, a duty to his people, to his family, and to the city they called home. As he planned the resistance, his thoughts, unbidden, drifted to Andromache and their child, safe within the inner sanctums of the city. He steeled himself, knowing each decision he made kept them safe. Yet doubt, a shadowy echo from the past, lingered at the back of his mind, a whisper of consequences and decisions still to unravel. Chapter 4. Collisions and Consequences. The first wave of battle crashed upon Neo-Troy like a storm of light and fury. Drone swarms darted through the sky, engaging with the city's anti-air defenses, laser turrets, and electromagnetic pulses, lighting up the clouds in raging flashes. Achilles joined the fray, a whirlwind of precision and death, as Achaean forces landed upon the platforms. His movements were poetry in motion, every strike calibrated to exert maximum impact. He felt alive amidst the chaos yet beneath the surface. A growing unease tugged at his spirit. Patroclus, driven by the heat of combat and loyalty to his friend, donned Achilles' iconic exosuit, leading a decoy assault on the western quadrant of the city. It was a gambit, dangerous but necessary to draw Neo-Troy's defenders, allowing the main force to advance. In defense, Hector was everywhere, his leadership a beacon as he fought beside his soldiers. His resolve was unwavering, but there was an empathy to his actions, a discouragement to needless slaughter, respect for life evident in every decisive blow he dealt. When Patroclus met Hector at the front lines, the confrontation was electric, clashing ideals expressed through blinding bursts of gunfire and the bone-rattling thud of explosions. The skirmish persisted until, with disarming finesse, Hector disarmed Patroclus, unaware of his true identity but recognizing the courage and skill of his foe. The city, ambitious as it was not invincible. Patroclus fell, and with him, a piece of Achilles' world. Chapter 5. Rage and Reckoning. Word of Patroclus' death reached Achilles like a shockwave. Consumed with grief and rage, he shook off his apathy, vowing vengeance upon those who took his friend from him. His fury became a tempest, driving the Achaean forces with unparalleled ferocity into the heart of Neo-Troy. His legendary prowess turned the tide, and walls that had withstood the best of modern warfare began to falter under his wrath. Agamemnon watched, knowing Achilles' newfound determination could spell victory. Yet, he also saw the Dandara warrior unleashed upon the world was a double-edged sword, one that could easily turn upon those who underestimated its wielder. Under this relentless pressure, Hector steeled himself for a final stand. Inside him, doubt became determination as he absorbed the grief of his own losses and the responsibility still on his shoulders. When eventually their paths crossed amidst the flaming wreckage and spiraling chaos, it was not just a clash of warriors, it was the convergence of destinies. Their duel echoed the crash of thunder, echoes of their ancestors felt through every swift strike and purposeful parry. Achilles, driven by vengeance, sought retribution of force, unyielding against the noble resolve of Hector, whose strength was not in brutality, but in the honor of defending what he loved. Yet even honor could shatter beneath the weight of Achillean fury. Hector fell as legends foretold an ending both tragic and profound. Chapter 6. Destiny and the Digital Gods. The neon lights over Neo-Troy dimmed as Achaean forces surged forward, but even victory felt hollow beneath Achilles' lament for Patroclus and Hector's valiant stand. The battlefield echoed with the haunting firmware of human cost to sacrifice burnt unwilling upon the altar of ambition. Paris, standing amidst his conquered city, clutched the Helios core. "Is this what you wanted?" He spat toward the digital gods, to the unseen forces that orchestrated the fate. In the cybersphere, echoes resounded. The Helios core thrummed with a life of its own, a catalyst not merely of energy, but evolution. Its insights and oracle over grids and networks held a secret. True power was balance, not domination. Helen, witnessing the destruction born from her presence, too saw the truth whispered by the digital pantheon. Humanity was but a tether at its best when ambition met empathy. As Achilles stood over Hector, the glow of the Helios core bathed them in silken light. The weight of legends settled upon the warrior's broad shoulders as he pondered what he had lost to gain his place among the mythical. With dusk descending, silent drones collected the fallen, art if not cruelty closing the steps of grandeur. The clash of the divine and the digital was a reminder, a weave rich with the complexity of human desire and the binding threads of destiny. Chapter 7. Aftermath and Awakening. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over Neo-Troy's ruins. The city, once a beacon of innovation, lay wounded yet undefeated, its heart still beating beneath the electronic pulse of the Helios core. Agamemnon, standing amidst the rubble, declared victory, though his triumph felt bittersweet. This city was a dream, he admitted with a rare tone of respect, but dreams end. Helen, now a voice of clarity, regarded him, only to begin anew. Neo-Troy is more than steel and circuits. Its legacy will endure. In the skies and data streams, digital gods conspired, less myth and more future. Helios core lay dormant, its power a potential waiting for a world ready to wield it with wisdom. Achilles, retreating in the shadows of his own heart, carried Patroclus' memory like a flickering torch against the night, a reminder of what truly mattered beyond war and honor. Below, Paris and Helen plotted the city's rebirth, an icon for the world to rally around. Emboldened by Hector's sacrifice, a phoenix rising amidst the ashes of empire. In the wake of profound loss, Neo-Troy embraced a new dawn. The sun's first light caught the city's reflective panels, reborn above the waves, a testament to dreams unfinished and legends unbroken. Thus, the epic of Neo-Troy and the warriors who fought upon its platforms was not an end but a beginning, a testament to human tenacity, echoing through the mists of the digital and beyond. Chapter 8. Echoes of Eternity. As the world absorbed Neo-Troy's fall, a new narrative emerged, done not just of conquered or conqueror, but of evolution. Stories told of warriors who defied not just foes but fate, where honor and vengeance danced entwined across the skies. Achilles, exchanging warfare for wisdom, wandered with newfound clarity, finding solace where his fury once burned. In the realms where loss met legend, he found understanding, no longer a mere chess piece in corporate strategy but a hero reborn. Hector's spirit lingered over Neo-Troy, an emblem of resilience and courage, his legacy etched in every stone and circuit, remembered as the soul of a city suspended over sea and sky. In palaces of data and dreams, digital gods hummed melodies of past and future, eternal scribes across silicon pages. Helios core had reawakened a truth. Humanity, boundless like the digital ether, had yet unlimited potential, forever reaching, evolving beyond known realms. Thus, in a world fractured by war but united in growth, the tale of Neo-Troy resounded, a timeless saga of men, machines, and myths intertwined. Prophetic echoes spanning epochs whispered through the very fabric of innovation and aspiration. The hyper-neon glow of existence winked into the depths of a shared cosmos, unceasing, unfathomable, eternally intertwined, an infinite epic aboard a floating city adrift between millennia. Thus, in the end, legends immortal flowed through human veins as AIs weaved narrative threads, emboldening the next chapters of the ever-expansive human story.